In every form of entertainment, there are peaks and valleys. A great TV show can have a terrible second season. A championship football team can fall apart overnight. That's normal. But what happens when two massive sports under one corporate umbrella starts declining at the same time? That's the question fans of WWE and UFC are asking right now. Maybe not everyone, but definitely some. This is the T Drop. No soft behavior. Let's talk about TKO. When TKO Group Holdings was formed in 2023, optimism was high. One company controlling WWE and UFC felt like an opportunity. Fans imagined crossover ideas, elevated production, and maybe even WWE becoming edgier again. Some even hope for a return to a TV-14 style presentation. Well, as you know, none of that happened. Instead, what we got was something much simpler. A corporation maximizing revenue while minimizing risks. From a fan's perspective, WWE has become painfully predictable. Every week on Raw, you already know how the show will potentially end. There will be a brawl. It will involve some combination of either Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Division, LA Knight. Every world title feels locked to the same small group of champions. Every premium live event is headlined by the same names. And every promise of something new turns out to be the same formula. Yes, WWE has always gone through eras of fans complaining about it in real time. Hogan, Austin, Rock, Cena, that's not new. What is new is how little effort is being made to transition power. To WWE's credit, there are glimpses of the future. A potential CM Punk versus Braun Breaker title defense is exactly what fans have been asking for. Braun is young, explosive, and has an undeniable presence. But here's the issue. If WWE is serious about the future, why are so many world titles still being held by men in their 40s? Why is the company relying on 3 or 4 established names to sell tickets instead of creating the new generation of headliners? Now, don't get me wrong. I know CM Punk is over 40. Stop, in case people start saying, oh, you're a hypocrite. No. I mean, CM Punk definitely had to hold the title because, unfortunately, Seth Rollins got injured. So they needed someone quick. And who else but CM Punk, the person that got the title taken from him in SummerSlam. So the hopes is that Braun Breaker wins on tomorrow. But we will have to wait and find out. WWE doesn't lack talent. It lacks urgency. Take Survivor Series. War Games, to be exact, as a recent example. The event was heavily promoted. Expectations were high. And the result? A serviceable show with a flat ending that left fans frustrated. Yet immediately after, leadership praised the event because it sold out and did strong numbers. That response says everything about the higher-ups. The metric isn't quality anymore. It's revenue. Now let's talk about UFC. Because this is where things get uncomfortable. UFC is supposed to be a merit-based sport. Wins matter. Ranking matters. The best fight the best. But lately, the UFC has started behaving a lot like WWE. Emphasis on money fights and star power. The UFC often prioritizes bouts that generate the most public interest in pay-per-view revenue, even if it means bypassing more deserving contenders in the official ranking. This focus on star power over strict sporting merit is a hallmark of the entertainment-focused WWE model. Trash talk and personality. Fighters are heavily encouraged to promote themselves, develop polarizing personalities, and engage in trash talk to build hype and generate attention. As Dana White has noted, A fighter generating a strong reaction, whether it's love or hate, is beneficial for business. A strategy long utilizing in pro wrestling. Promotional storylines. The UFC builds narratives and feuds around fighters, often highlighting personal animosity to a degree that some fans feel is manufactured or overplayed for drama, similar to WWE storylines. A focus on look and charisma. Some critics argue that markability, including a fighter's look and ability to talk on the mic, is sometimes valued more highly by the promotion than pure fighting skill, which helps build a broader, more mainstream appeal. Control and monopoly. The UFC's business model, which involves long-term exclusive contracts and control over ranking and title shots, gives the promotion immense power over its talent, leading some to draw comparisons to a monopoly that benefits executives over the fighters themselves. In summary, while the outcomes of UFC fights are real, the packaging and promotion have increasingly incorporated elements of the entertainment-driven business model pioneered by the WWE to maximize mainstream appeal and profitability. Now, let's go into more deeper examples in UFC. Let's look at the featherweight division. Champion Alexander Volkanovski recently defended his title against Diego Lopes. Since then, two undefeated contenders have emerged. Movsar Evlov, who's 19-0, and Lerone Murphy, who's 17-0. Both men campaigned for title shots. Instead, the UFC announced that Volkanovski will defend against Diego Lopes again. Why? Because of star power. Diego Lopes is exciting. He sells. He gets reactions. But does one win after losing decisively to the champion justify another title shot over two undefeated contenders? No. And when Lerone Murphy spoke out, he made a devastating point. He chose MMA over boxing because he believed there was less politics. Sadly, that belief no longer holds. Then came to the lightweight division. With Ilia Topuria sidelined, the UFC announced an interim title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. Fans in the UFC immediately pushed back. The number one contender, Arman Tsarukyan, was skipped again, despite being on a 5-fight win streak and recently choking out Dan Hooker. Why? Because Paddy sells. This is the core problem. WWE is entertainment, so choosing stars over merit makes sense. But UFC is supposed to be a sports merit-based system, so doing the same thing as WWE destroys their credibility. Yet under TKO, both companies are operating the same way. The most popular fight is the most popular. Merit takes a backseat to money. This doesn't feel like an evolution. It feels like laziness. TKO isn't building legacy. It's milking brands. They're milking the fans. They're milking for every dollar you can, because they know you will show up if you show a popular match. The Rock against this? Sure. The Rock is a little slow nowadays, but that's okay. We love The Rock. Oh, you want me to pay $40,000 for a front seat ticket? Sure, here you go. Let me just mortgage my house. Anyway. And when fans notice that both WWE and UFC feel stale, predictable, and manufactured, that's not coincidence, that's corporate philosophy. And here's the uncomfortable truth that fans really need to hear. If you're frustrated with TKO, especially with those ticket prices, if you're frustrated with WWE or with UFC, Complaining online will not change anything. These companies do not respond to tweets. They don't respond to Instagram posts. They don't respond to even this video. They won't. They may look at this. They probably won't. There'll be defenders out there defending the product too. Without thinking. They're not going to respond this way. They do not adjust strategy because of comment sections. They've said it flat and clear. Triple H has said it. Nick Khan has said it. They don't. They don't care. They only listen to one thing only. And that's money. Money. With the rising cost of tickets, pay-per-views, merchandise, and meet and greets, it's clear where the focus is. Profitability comes first. Product quality comes second. As you can see, the gray bar, all the way on that end, is the moment that TKO merged close. And ever since then, look at the price spike for events. This is the average cost of a WWE, Raw, and SmackDown in the US and Canada. It went from maybe around 2020 from $59 to $62, and when they merged in 2023, as of last year, it is inflated to $118, and that is the lowest ticket price, not the average. Oh no, it is the average ticket price. I apologize. It's the average ticket price. It almost doubled over a 2-year span. This is not an emotional movement. That's corporate behavior. The only leverage fans actually have is not through the comment section, but it's through their wallets and their attendance. What you buy, what you skip, what you show up for. It's up to fans to decide how they want to proceed, but understand this clearly. How fans spend is how these companies will answer and react. This doesn't feel like an evolution, it feels like a stagnation dressed up as success. When WWE and UFC start feeling predictable, manufactured, and risk averse at the same time, that's not coincidence, that's policy. Corporations don't listen to outrage, they listen to receipts. That's it. They listen to the receipts. Now, this isn't hate. It's just frustration at this point. Fans want effort. Fans want integrity. Fans want the best fighting the best. And the future being built, not delayed. Do better. Sincerely, fans worldwide.